Alrighty, folks, I believe we are live. Hey guys, what's going on? James here. Welcome back to yet another live stream here on the YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about the Buccaneers wide receiver room, who could possibly step up, and really everything in between. I'm going live before my NFC South roundtable tonight. Should be a lot of fun. Hope to see a lot of you guys in there as well. But today I just wanted to talk about Jalen Mayfield, talk about what the heck is going on with the Buccaneers wide receiver room because, there's a lot going on, right? There's a lot going on with McMillan getting hurt, with, all the different types of guys who could possibly step up, who probably need to step up, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's everything we're going to be talking about in today's live stream. Hopefully everybody is doing good as well. I see we've already got a few people in here. Let me know in the chat, by the way, guys, what was your thoughts and opinions on, the injury news when it hit? Who do you want to see step up? Just let me know all your guys' thoughts and opinions about it. We've got Nolan in here. Very sad to see Jalen almost out for half the year. Yeah, if you guys remember, actually, I wonder if I can pull it up on Twitter, because I remember I had liked it. If you guys remember, there was a tweet from, I think it was Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times. Here we go. So I wonder if we can pull this up, where McMillan was in that neck brace, and that was concerning, right? I remember we had talked about it, and it was like, hey, what's going on here? But then, like, shortly after this video came out, it was basically like, oh no, he's fine, precautionary, stuff like that. Like, everything seemed to be okay, but obviously that was not the case. He does end up missing a big chunk of time here. So, pretty concerning. Not exactly the best news in the world. And we're going to have to see who is going to step up now for the Bucs in that wide receiver room. There's going to be a lot of names that are going to be out there under consideration, things along those lines. I'm curious to see. I've got it right here, the Buccaneers depth chart. Obviously, of course, Mike Evans is probably going to get even more targets now going forward, if I had to guess. I mean, again, like, he's not even just your number one option now. He's like super your number one option, because Godwin's not going to be there. McMillan's not going to be there. I think that all of that, yes, will funnel to other guys as well, but like, that can also mean just more targets going forward for Mike Evans also. So I'm going to be very curious to see what happens with that. Also, actually, real quick, let me pop out the chat here so I can see what we're talking about here. So, I mean, let's go back to the depth chart here. Godwin, obviously, we don't really know what's going on with Chris Godwin. It's starting to get a little weird. Like, it's starting to get like, why aren't we hearing anything about this? Right? Like, why are we not hearing anything about Chris Godwin? That's a little bit weird. So I don't know when he's going to be available. I very much doubt he's going to be available for week 1. Maybe he'll be available like a month into the season, but I'm not sure. Buzz, what happened to Jalen McMillan? He has a severely sprained neck. And he's actually going to be out for, I believe they said, at least until the week 9 bye week. He was actually placed on the injured reserve. So there is some news there. I was at school when I saw the news. Made my day a lot worse just because he's such an underrated wide receiver. Sterling Shepard slide back into that wide receiver 4 role. McMillan is going to be such a good fantasy player. It is what it is. This also gives fringe players a chance who may not have made the final 53. That is true as well. That is 100% true as well. We need 2 veteran signings, one for wide receiver and the other for a defensive line. We can take a look at that, sure. Like some options, let's say. But obviously with McMillan out, with Godwin out, the big guy who's probably going to benefit here is McMillan. He had that crazy catch in the preseason game from Teddy Bridgewater, which was cool. But Ibuka's opportunities just went from like a decent amount of opportunities to a huge amount of opportunities. So he's going to get a lot of targets thrown his way to start off this season. I'm excited to see what he can do. I think he will be a good, young, productive player and be able to offer a lot of good stuff, in my opinion, in the wide receiver room right away. The injury news does suck. I do want to preface that, but I am also, on the other hand, like, interested to see and excited to see Emeka Ibuka get a lot of opportunities here. Now, of course, you don't want to wish for injuries or anything along those lines, but Ibuka getting a lot of chances is exciting. I don't think that there's a way to deny that. Let's see here. No need to rush Chris or Jalen. This sucks, man. I hope he gets better, but I think it'll probably be Tez or Ibuka. For sure, man. Yeah, I'll check it out. I hope Tez gets some minutes. Tight ends will get more targets. This sucks. Indeed, it's not great. I do also wonder, like you guys brought it up, does this mean a guy like Trey Palmer maybe makes this 53-man roster now? I'm curious about that because we haven't seen Trey Palmer a lot. He's been dealing with some injuries and whatnot, but I feel like this very much raises the chances of him making the 53-man roster. He hasn't done a ton since 2023, 2024. He didn't have a ton going on. He had 172 yards and a touchdown, over 12 catches. And then, I mean, you guys see in his career, like that 2023 year was much better. He had 385 yards, 3 touchdowns, was doing a lot better in 2023, in my opinion, than what we saw in 2024. That could change now. That could change, though, with some more opportunities to begin the season. You guys also brought up veteran Sterling Shepard. He is definitely going to be a guy that will... is he going to be your wide receiver 3 right now? Yeah, he probably will. I mean, he still put up some decent numbers. I mean, in 24, 334 yards, 1 touchdown. I think that he's probably that third wide receiver now in the room. If I had to guess, I'd probably say it goes Mike Evans 1, Emeka Ibuka 2, Sterling Shepard 3. After that, wide receiver 4, honestly, it's a little bit of a toss-up to begin the season. Let's just say like week 1, right? Who is your wide receiver 4? Is it Trey Palmer? Is it Tez Johnson? I mean, Tez Johnson had a couple of moments in that last preseason game, but he also did make a mistake here or there as well. As a punt returner, are they going to try and maybe keep him as more of a pure punt and kick returner since he doesn't have that much experience yet at wide receiver? It is important to remember that the dude was a 7th round pick, right? So like he may definitely still have some more polishing that needs to be done to his skills. So I don't necessarily know if Tez screams wide receiver 4. You're also got to consider, I mean, one guy who I think like you could say like, hey, week 1, this guy might be your wide receiver 4. If it's not Trey Palmer, is it Ryan Miller? He had a really great first preseason game in terms of receiving play, did really well in special teams in that second preseason game also. So I'm curious to see, let's say the wide receiver room is Mike Evans at the 1, Emeka Ibuka at the 2, Sterling Shepard at the 3, Ryan Miller at the 4, maybe Tez Johnson at the 5, Trey Palmer at the 6, maybe. I mean, because Godwin's on the PUP list, he still counts towards the regular season roster. So I'm not sure. Jalen McMillan's going to be out for a good while. Should Bulls keep the young guys like Palmer and cut Sterling Shepard? I'm going to say no. We'll talk about Garrett Green in a moment here. I've told myself I think Ibuka turns into wide receiver 2 by the end of the season, especially if Chris is out more than expected. Obviously, he's not better than Chris, but stats could be better than Godwin's. Maybe at the end of the season. Yeah, it's certainly possible. I think we're going to trade Trey for maybe Malachi Corley in a 5th. There's no way that you would get Malachi Corley and a pick for Trey Palmer, in my opinion. What's up, Daniel? Happy Tuesday for everyone as well. Tight ends will get more targets. We'll talk about tight ends in a moment here as well. Let's see. Trade Trey for another wide receiver? Well, I don't really get that because, like, you could just use Trey Palmer, As a Nebraska fan, I wish Trey has more opportunities this season. He very well might now. No, it seems very unlikely that Godwin's going to be back to start the year, in my opinion. Tez Johnson's spot on the 53-man roster could now be a lock. I like him on drag routes especially. Mike, Ibuka, Sterling, Tez, Ryan Miller. Do I agree with this? Again, for me, it would probably be like Evans, Ibuka, Sterling Shepard. Is it crazy to say Ryan Miller is wide receiver 4? I don't know. I mean, he played last year. He has experience playing games at wide receiver. He had 128 yards, 2 touchdowns last year. That's comparable stats to Trey Palmer last year. So I don't know. I wouldn't hate Ryan Miller at I wouldn't hate Ryan Miller at wide receiver 4. Then you have like Tez at wide receiver 5, maybe. Or do you just say Trey Palmer at wide receiver 5 because he has a little bit more experience? I don't know. I do not know. Since Shepard will retire before he plays for another team, he's a perfect practice squad player who can play. Well, again, like I just think you'd rather have that guy on your active roster, in my opinion. Only way we would get a pick from that trade is if we also trade a pick. How long is Jalen McMillan out for? Again, he's probably going to be out till around week 9, maybe. Buzz, have a good one. I'll see you later. Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting what happens here in the wide receiver room. But and also real quick, like, does Garrett Green make the roster now? Because again, like, he's another guy who has been impressing the Buccaneers coaching staff, has been doing some good things. So like, let's say that wide receiver room week 1 is Mike Evans at the 1, Emeka Egbuka at the 2, Sterling Shepard at the 3. At your 4, I'm going to say Ryan Miller for the heck of it. Maybe Trey Palmer at the 5, and then Tez Johnson at the 6. Maybe that's your 6. And then you've got Garrett Green on the practice squad. That seems fine in my opinion. Godwin is still going to count towards the 53-man roster. But if I had to guess, I would say that, they're going to technically carry 7 wide receivers, but that's only because of the fact that he or that Godwin is going to be missing some time there to start. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm interested to see what is going on here with the Bucs in the wide receiver room, like I still feel like they're in a fine space. I really do believe that. I do. Hold on one second, folks. There we go. I still feel like that they are in a fine space. Real quick, guys, I just posted a link here in the chat, and I'm gonna pin it. I want you guys to help me out here because I have the NFC South Roundtable after this live stream. I want you guys to go in there and show me some support because typically whenever I'm in there, it's mainly a lot of Saints fans and stuff like that. And I want some Bucs fans in there, man. So we're going to be ranking the quarterbacks in the division during today's show. It's going to be from 8 to 9. So pretty much like right after this, if you guys want to jump in there, we'll continue to do some NFC South roundtable business. I would appreciate that. That'd be a lot of fun to go in there and take over, so to speak. What's going on, production? Says, hey James, how long is Jalen out? Just joined. Yeah, well, first, thanks for joining short notice on the live stream. Two is he's going to be out for a while. I think, let me go back to what Stroud had tweeted. Because he's going to be out until, I want to say, like week 9 bye week, I believe. Let me just go back to see. Yeah. All right, so let me zoom in on this tweet here. So, yeah. You got the tweet here. He's going to be out until, could be out past the week 9 bye week. So, it is what it is. What was my wide receiver 1 through 3? It's going to be Mike Evans, Emeka Egbuka, and I believe Sterling Shepard. That's my opinion. And I think that's a fine wide receiver trio. Given all the injuries, right? Given all the injuries, like I feel like that's fine. And I feel like you've got some good depth back there as well, in my opinion. I'm curious. Well, this is awkward. So this is just an interesting note I saw here. Admits he still wishes he was coaching football. So the only reason Teddy's back is because he got suspended. That's interesting. The only reason Teddy's back playing football and was an option for the Bucs is because he got suspended as a head coach in high school. That's kind of crazy. Um, yep, avoid serious injury. We already knew about that. Is there anything else regarding the Bucs? No. Um, Apparently, Albert Breer wrote that Michael Penix Jr. is drawing a lot of comparisons to Matthew Stafford. I don't know about all that. Let's see. There's a lot of different things here. Wide receiver. Dave Canales was frustrated by the team's recent performance. For sure. Interesting. Well, anyway, but yeah, no, there. So, oh, by the way, Tristan Wirfs in the top 100, dude. There's a lot of Bucs in the top 100, isn't there? Like, golly, I want to go check in a minute. What's up, Bat? Again, for all of you who are just joining, we're talking about some of the Bucs injury stuff that's going on right now. I hate preseason. They just need to make it an 18-week season. I still like preseason because I feel like it gives undrafted guys draft picks and other guys reps, and I feel like that's important. No, I don't fully believe that McMillan getting hurt was Palmer's, or McMillan getting hurt was Teddy's fault. I mean, like, he threw a hospital ball for sure, but, like, it was just an accident. It's an accident. Accidents happen, you know? So Anger has a good point. And I do want to go back to this real quick, is another guy who needs to step up is going to be Cade Otton. I feel like Cade Otton needs to step up in a big way, get some more opportunities there. I mean, look, he did have 600 yards last year and 4 touchdowns. Now, that was whenever Godwin, Evans were out, like your number 1 and number 2 receivers at one point were like freaking Sterling Shepard and Ryan Miller. So, like, Otton's going to step up, or he has to in the absence of McMillan, right? So, it is what it is. Jalen was going to have a monster year. Maybe. Devin Colt, maybe I don't know if he'll get more opportunities. We'll see. Werf should be way lower. The only player who is all-pro left tackle and right. What do you mean, like way higher in the rankings? Is that what you're saying, Brew? Because, like, lower, he shouldn't be lower. Real quick, it would be fun to take a look at this. I don't think Bucky's going to be ranked. No. I would be very surprised if he was ranked. This is interesting. Predicting winners for all 272 NFL teams. Okay. NFC playoff predictions. Okay, so they have... Let's take a look at this. Why not? We're having some fun. Let's take a look at this. So they predicted the NFC playoffs. So they have the Bucs going 9-8, still winning the NFC South. 49ers don't even make a wild card here. That's Ali's prediction. Adam Rank has the Panthers winning the division at 9-8. And the Bucs not even making it. Okay. Well, let's see. What are we talking about here? Hold on one moment, guys. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not a big Adam Rank guy at all. I think the dude's kind of a knucklehead. So, okay, NFC South. So, Ali, whoever that is. Hold on, let me go back up to the top of the article and see who we're talking about here. We've got Ali Bonpuri and Adam Rank. Okay. So 2 guys that I've had issues with their analysis before. So Ali Bonpuri has the Falcons going 8-9. Adam Rank has them going 6-11. Okay, interesting. What about Carolina? Ali Bonpuri has them going 6-11. Adam Rank 9-8. Okay, interesting. The Saints. Oh God, Ali Bonpuri has them going 3-14. Adam Rank 5-12. And then let's see. Adam Rank has the Bucs going 7-10. Ali Bonpuri has them going 9-8. That's interesting. I'm curious here. So week 1, Adam Rank has the Bucs beating the Falcons. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So it's mainly I mean, that's just wrong. I mean, like, I just feel like that's wrong. To have the Bucs. Let's see. Ali explains his picks for sure. Let's see. Will the Bucs make the playoffs? Maybe. Well, there you go. Hold on one second. Somebody had an underrated comment. Let me see. What are we talking about here, chat? I think they need to work on the run game. I want to see better blocking. I want to see better blocking for sure. Oh gosh, hate the preseason injuries for sure. I want Trey Palmer to be in for them. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Bucky looked good as a receiver during the first quarter. They could sub him in sometimes. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't think you really want to take Bucky out of the backfield too much. I'm really questioning if it's really a severe strain. I think it is. What if they tried Bucky or Cade at wide receiver? I just wouldn't want to mess with it too much. Like, you could see some scenarios where Bucky goes out wide, like whenever Teddy threw him that touchdown. I think that's cool, but I do not know. Cade Otton versus the Falcons was peak. It's our young guns and role players that have to step up for sure, for sure. No sign AB, no sign AB. Why are we looking at this crap? It's fun. I notice the Bucs always give up big throws. Our defense needs to play more man coverage. Otton was top 5 last season until he got hurt. Like top 5 in tight ends? Maybe. Let's take a look, though. I do want to see something here. I want to see the NFL top 100 because I'm curious how many freaking Bucs are in the top 100 so far. Because that was very interesting to me. I mean, we're just kind of having fun here. We're honestly just kind of chilling until the NFC South roundtable happens at 8. So I want y'all to be in there to support me in the roundtable tonight. Yeah, so like hold on real quick. So like yeah, Levante checked in at number 96. It's not bad at all in my opinion. I think you have a Buck at like every level of this list so far. So like Levante's number 96. Let's go to 90 to 81. I think there was a Buck on there. Zach Allen 90. Trying to turn off the freaking volume here. Golly. Let's see. 84, 83, 82. Trent McDuffie's up there. Okay, so no Bucks in the 90 to 81 range. Okay. Rashawn Gary, number 80. Dak was at number 79. I think that's so stupid, by the way. I think that's so stupid. I also think it's stupid that Vita Vea, number 76. Shout out Vita Vea. So he got in there at number 76. There was another guy, McCaffrey. So stupid. So stupid he was in the top 100. Ridiculous, in my opinion. Absolutely ridiculous. There should be like certain guys. There should be like certain guys who should just be like removed, regardless of where the freaking players put them. But Vita Vea got on there at number 76. That's pretty awesome. Jordan Love's on there, which is cool, I suppose. I'm trying to see if there's another, because I don't know if there's another Buck before Baker. Maybe Mike? Let me check. Let's see. Cooper DeJean was there. Shout out Cooper DeJean. Stafford. Nick Bosa fell like a freaking ton of bricks. Let's see. Jared Verse is there. Terry McLaurin. Kyle Hamilton. Okay, so Mike isn't on there yet. I know he's so. I think he's. Well, I guess he is above Baker. It does make sense. Yeah, Baker was at number 50. I know that. Right at 50 is pretty cool for Baker. I mean, to be a top 100, be a top 50 player in the NFL last season. What a freaking accomplishment for Mayfield, man. I love that. Will Anderson, Trent Williams fell like a ton of bricks. There's Mike at 44. So he did fall a little bit. He was a little bit hurt. So, but Mike is a dog. So we love Mike. So that's what? That's 4 Bucks so far. We've got Levante David, Vita Vea, Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans. That's 4 so far, right? Was there anybody in 40 to 31? Probably not. Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Budda Baker, Jacobs, Kittle. No. So we have 5 Bucs so far, including Tristan Wirfs, which is interesting. So let's go to 20 to 21. McKinney, Wirfs. Yep. So Wirfs is there. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, five Bucs in the top 100 is not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. Folks, give me 1 second. I'll be back in just a second. All right, I'm back. Shepard is a solid stopgap until Godwin returns. I agree with that. Would be nice to have 50 Bucs fans in the roundtable. I agree. If we can get everybody in this stream over in the roundtable, I would be very happy with that. That would be very exciting. Again, the link's right up there. So if you guys do want to go in there and after we're done this stream, I'm gonna do this stream like literally like all the way up until the round table, because I want to get as many of us in there as possible. So what's another thing we can talk about, guys? Actually, I do know another thing that we can talk about. I want to talk about who the heck is going to be the Bucs quarterback too. Do you guys feel like that it might be Teddy Bridgewater or Kyle Trask? Obviously, it's going to come down to one of those two, right? I feel like there's a lot of mixed opinions on Teddy right now because, yes, he did have 2 really nice touchdown passes in the preseason week 2 game versus the Steelers, 1 to Bucky, 1 to Emeka Egbuka, which was awesome. A lot of people hate the fact that he inadvertently caused the Jalen McMillan injury that did occur with the severe neck sprain and stuff like that. But I don't know. In my opinion, I really do believe this. If there was a scenario where Baker Mayfield could not play, I'm knocking on wood already, right? If there was a scenario where Baker Mayfield could not play and you had to start either Teddy Bridgewater or Kyle Trask, I really do feel like they would start Teddy Bridgewater over Kyle Trask. That's just how I feel right now because of the fact that he is just more experienced. And I know that Trask is super victim of circumstance, right? The best chance he ever had was whenever they initially signed Baker Mayfield and there was a pretty legitimate quarterback competition between him and Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield, and Trask lost. So it is what it is. So I feel like if you needed somebody to get you through the rest of a game, be it to get you through multiple games, I feel like their first option would be Teddy Bridgewater right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority of thinking that, but that's just the way I believe right now. And also the fact that Trask was brought back on a very short deal. Another big thing that was interesting to me was the way they treated Teddy and Trask in the preseason game, where it was a scenario of we are going to play Teddy Bridgewater before we play Kyle Trask. That was really interesting to me. They let Teddy play with the starters. They did not let Kyle Trask play with the starters. That was very interesting to me, which, if you read kind of the tea leaves of how these preseason games go, that would indicate that they would have Teddy B ahead of Kyle Trask on the depth chart, so to speak. I don't know. I don't know. It is going to be interesting to see if they do carry like 3 quarterbacks as well. I think Connor Bazelak's a shoo-in for the practice squad at this point, probably. But like, I do wonder, with the injuries at wide receiver, with what they got going on in terms of injuries at other positions as well, can you afford to keep 3 quarterbacks? I don't know. I don't know, man. I am very interested about it. I am very curious about it as well. So, I mean, Trask did not look very good in that second preseason game. Teddy looked pretty solid, all things considered. It's just something to consider, in my opinion. Maybe it's just like I don't know, but like it's just like an opinion. But like I don't know. I think that Teddy would be that first option off the bench right now over a guy like Kyle Trask, in my opinion. I don't know. I do not know. Let Teddy kill J-Mac. Well, look. If Baker Mayfield did that, would everybody be saying get rid of Baker Mayfield? If Tom Brady did that, would everybody be saying get rid of Tom Brady? Like, accidents happen, like you can't there's in no way, shape, or form should that be a deciding factor on whether or not a player is going to be in a backup role or anything along those lines, in my opinion. That to me seems like a jump in the conversation at that point. It was a dirty hit. I mean, like, and also it was a crazy catch, and like he was falling. He was falling, man. And yeah, I mean, like, to what Bat was saying, like, yeah, Teddy has real game experience. I don't get why the Bucs never draft a good quarterback. Silver linings, I really think Tez Johnson will benefit. Trask can't read a defense, get the ball out fast. Bucs running game and defense gonna have to carry this team until we get the wide receivers back. I mean, we still got to remember that the Bucs have Mike Evans here, and Emeka Egbuka, and they have Cade Otton. I mean, like, they still have plenty of weapons. So I don't think it's in that type of a scenario, unless it was literally a situation where Mike Evans, Cade Otton, Emeka Egbuka were all hurt as well. I would agree with that, but yeah, Gabe Davis is a short-term option while McMillan is out. I don't see it. I just don't see them. I could see them maybe sign a guy like Cody Thompson, but I don't see them adding like a big name, so to speak. I just don't. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, Gabe Davis might sign with Pittsburgh. He might sign somewhere else. Emeka Egbuka is obviously the number 2. For a while, my question is who's 4, 5, and 6? Good question. We were talking about that earlier. I mean, it is an interesting question. I mean, wide receiver 4, honestly, like, my kind of theory is, like, do you just have Ryan Miller be your wide receiver 4? Or do you have Trey Palmer? Those are probably your first 2 options. I don't know if I've seen enough yet from Tez Johnson to say this dude should be the wide receiver 4. I just don't think so. But if you told me that 4 was Ryan Miller, let's say, 5 is Trey Palmer, and 6 is Tez Johnson, that would be nice. Or if you even wanted to say 4 is Ryan Miller, 5 is Tez Johnson, 6 is Trey Palmer, I'd be fine with that as well. But I'm not comfortable enough to say, like, hey, get Tez out there in wide receiver 4 reps. I just feel like we haven't seen enough from him yet. Good question, though, Loggins. Good question. I'm fine with Ryan Miller being number 4. He does his job and completes the catch. For sure. For sure. Tez Johnson is good. I believe he will have a surprising season. Good with Sterling. I'm a Sterling Shepard. I like Sterling Shepard. He's a solid receiver, man. Yes, Sterling Shepard becomes the 3 now. Yes, absolutely. He absolutely does. I just don't see how it's going to be Baker over the top deep threat like Jalen was. The short and middle of the field will be congested. I mean, you also forget that, like, Mike Evans is a very, very legitimate deep threat. These guys are all professional wide receivers. Like, they can do a lot of different things. Haven't heard Trey Palmer's name in a while. Wide receiver room is deep, but it's getting thin. It is what it is. 9.5 weeks for recovery, which is exactly what happened to his neck. It sounds like more than a strain. I don't know. I do not know. We'll never fully know that answer either of, like, what the full story is with that, we'll never fully know. So I'm so happy with this wide receiver room. Yeah, I feel like the Bucs have a pretty solid wide receiver room still, man. Like, even if you took not Evans and Godwin, if you take Godwin and McMillan out of it, you've still got a lot of interesting guys who are doing some interesting stuff. So we're still going to be a DC nightmare. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, you still have so many freaking weapons in this room. I don't believe Godwin's going to play week 1. I feel like the less we hear about Godwin, the more concerning it is, in my opinion. Maybe you guys disagree with that. Maybe you do agree with that. I don't know. But, like, I feel like the less we hear about it, the more concerning it is. That's my opinion. And I agree with Loggins, where it's like, hey, take your time with it, Teddy brings more to the offense as far as reading the defense, more mobile. They still need to get the timing down for sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Godwin worse, McMillan equals all gone until week 8, 9 probably. I don't think that's accurate. I think that Godwin and Wirfs could be back by like week 4 or by week 5. Week 4. That really wouldn't surprise me at all. But like McMillan, yes, McMillan's going to be out till about week 9. Godwin and Wirfs are going to be back sooner than that. No, we hear nothing and he isn't even jogging. Yeah, it's a little concerning. It's a little concerning. Like, I know that they're probably going to take their time with it. And really, and they should. They should take their time with it. I do want to say that. Like, they 100% should take their time with Godwin and his recovery, right? I'm honestly concerned about this wide receiver room. We're one Mike Evans injury away from disaster. Well, at this point, they're not. I mean, even then, though, you still have like a guy like Emeka Egbuka, which is better than which would still be, if you had Emeka Egbuka, Sterling Shepard, and Ryan Miller, that's better than what they had last year, whenever they didn't have Evans and Godwin, So that's just the way I see it. No word on when Godwin may come back. Yeah, no, it is. Having both Bucky and White on the field a lot now, yeah, that's certainly a possibility for sure. Yeah, we don't have our fantasy football draft till I think it's like 2 weeks from now or a week and a half from now. So like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be trying to look to take Egbuka, man. Dude's a dog. Yeah, the injuries are stacking up a little bit, aren't they? Yeah. Bucky and White have to ball out for real with these guys out. Again. Like, it's not the end of the world. It sucks, but it's not where they were last year. It's not where they were last year. What are my thoughts? What are my thoughts on Josh Grizzard after 2 preseason games? You know what, man? Like, I have been, and this might be like, not everybody agrees with this. I've been pleasantly surprised with what I've been seeing from Josh Grizzard, because this still looks like an offense, at least in preseason, where they are not making a ton of like bad mistakes. The quarterbacks I'm talking about, and really just the offense in general. It still feels like an offense that is very safe to the quarterback, and really is a offense that complements the quarterbacks, where it's like, hey, take what the offense gives you, things like that. I feel like all 3 quarterbacks that we've seen, not including Baker Mayfield, we've seen Kyle Trask run the offense good in preseason week 1, not so much in preseason week 2. I just think Trask didn't play that well. I think we've seen Connor Bazelak be fine in the 2 preseason games that he was in, just in terms of not making mistakes. And then 3, Teddy Bridgewater, I thought ran the offense well in preseason week 2 also. So like, I feel like this is still a good offense for like a quarterback for a passing game. I will say that I am a little bit worried about the run game so far. I feel like the run blocking has not been great. I feel like we have not really been able to see yet that run game kind of evolve into that next level, and take that next step, so to speak. Now, again, Wirfs isn't there, Baker isn't out there. You have so many different factors, and it's just preseason right now. We won't get a full-on look until we get into the regular season, but that is something where if I had to nitpick something, it's like, okay, I wish they were running the ball a little bit better. They did run the ball decent in preseason week number 1. Preseason week number 2, they ran the ball terribly. Now, was that because of the offensive line? Was that because of the running backs? Is it a combination of both? We're going to have to continue to figure that out as we go along, but that is like still something I'm a little bit worried about. Whereas I still feel like the passing game is nice. It's felt decent throughout the first 2 preseason games. But obviously we're not going to get that full picture of what we're seeing with a Josh Grizzard offense until we get further into the regular season and whatnot. But, it is still an interesting question. I think Grizzard is doing fine right now. I wouldn't say he's completely busting down the doors, so to speak. He could come out week 1 and go crazy, right? And have like 100 different things in his bag and do some awesome stuff. Like, we don't fully know yet. I do think it is pretty good that like Todd Bowles is seeing enough of like some of the starters to say like, yeah, I don't need to play Baker Mayfield because he's crushing it in practice. I don't need to play Mike Evans because he's crushing it in practice. I feel like those guys are really going to help out Grizzard and what he can do going forward. So like that's kind of my thoughts and opinions on what I think of Grizzard so far and this offense going into week number 1. Depth is a little bit weaker on the O-line after losing School. I wish they would have brought Justin School back, man. No, I don't think Grizzard would get a head coaching job next year. I don't believe so. I guess at this point, you never freaking know. But let's see. How about that new safety, Will Brooks? I mean, we'll see. He doesn't exactly have a lot of time to make an impact. He has like 5 minutes, it feels like. But, he can go out there and do something and maybe be a candidate for the practice squad. I don't know, man. I think when Wirfs gets back, the run game will fix itself. Yeah, I agree with that. I really, it's like a torn opinion thing where it's like, I want Wirfs back as quickly as possible because obviously he is the best player on this football team. But also as well, like, I just hope that he's able to come back fully healthy for sure. Real quick, guys. Yeah, third time's a charm for the OC leaving. Dude, I know. Can't wait to see the rendering for the stadium upgrade. Yeah, dude, add a freaking roof, right? Like, what are we talking about? Like, add a roof, dude. We need one. Bad. Need a roof. Bad. Do I think any more hope of Desmond Watson making the team? No. I mean, I don't think Desmond Watson's going to make this football team. At this point, it's like, and I'm curious to get your guys' opinions on this. At this point, it's like, why'd you sign the guy? Because he hasn't practiced. He hasn't played. So, like, what are we doing here? Like, did he sign up for a weight loss camp, basically? Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird vibes. I don't love it. I wish he was out there practicing. At least just practicing. If you don't want to play him in a game, whatever. But, like, get him some reps out there, man. I mean, my goodness. Yeah. Dude, Chase McLaughlin's been awesome. I've been loving what we've been seeing out of Chase McLaughlin. By the way, guys, that link I put in the chat, that's the NFC South Roundtable. I want to get as many of us in that roundtable as possible whenever it rolls around, just so we can hang out and y'all can back me up, because we're going to be ranking the quarterbacks at some point. Obviously, I have Baker at number 1. I do have Baker at number 1, so I don't know. Like, if I had to rank them, what would I rank them as? Bake's number 1. I mean, like, just by, like, sheer experience alone, do you put Bryce Young at number 2, Michael Penix at number 3, and then Tyler Shuck at number 4, I guess, is what you do? Baker's far and away the best. I want to say that. Like, Baker is far and away the best quarterback in the South. It's interesting, though, where you rank him after that. Godwin, I don't know. Is Godwin going to be out 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Who knows? What if the OC couldn't do the job in the regular season? No, no, you can't just replace your OC like that. That very rarely happens. Yeah, why did we sign the guy who can't play? Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question, man. How long? Let's see. The 3 to 4 starters out. Yeah. Vixen says I was totally for Watson. He'd be great asset size wise. Sad he will not make it, but hey, maybe he'll work on things and get there. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe. I do not know. I do not know. And like, dude, I even understand too. I understand too the idea of like, okay, we have like weight goals for him and stuff. Like, and I understand that it's like, hey, dude, if you want this guy to lose like 130 pounds, let's say, that's not happening, right? That's not happening. I don't know. I mean, like the fact that he's still on this roster, there has to be something there that the Bucs see where they're like, yeah, we do want to still continue to grow and develop this guy. Otherwise, they would have cut him after all the rookie mining camps and whatnot. So the fact that they've still had him here has to say something. It just does. It has to say something about their belief in him and his ability to go out there and maybe be something down the line. You know, it's like they still have hope. They still have hope. It's all up to Watson to get in shape now. Yeah, I mean, like again, I don't. It's like, what are you gonna do? Sign him to the practice squad? Like, is he gonna not be on the practice squad, but like still be in contact type thing? Where it's like maybe he's working out, like at the Bucs facility. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's a very strange-ish situation. Am I nervous for week 1? Nah, man. I'm good. I'm vibing, loving life, having a good time. Otten. Randy Orton's got to step up. Garrett Green should make the team. I don't know. Again, like if I'm looking at the depth chart right now, you like that? That was a fun transition. Mike Evans is going to be wide receiver 1. Godwin technically is still on the team. Okay, he's on the PUP list. That's not the injured reserve. He does count towards this team's 53-man roster right now. If they do place him on the injured reserve with a designation to return, which they could very well do after the roster cuts, that's one thing, okay? And that would tell you a lot, okay? That would mean Godwin wouldn't be coming back to week 8 or week 9 probably. So like but for right now, yeah, let's even assume the Bucs do that. Okay? So let's just say they place Godwin on the IR, designated to return at some point. Mike Evans is your 1, okay? Emeka Ibuka is your 2. I feel like we all agree on that, right? Sterling Shepard's going to be your wide receiver 3. Where is he? All these guys are hurt. Sterling Shepard's going to be your wide receiver 3. After that, it's a bit of an interesting conversation at wide receiver 4. I mean, they have Trey Palmer here. They do have Trey Palmer here. So it's like, I don't know. My guess is that Ryan Miller would be wide receiver 4 at that point. Wide receiver 5, I would honestly probably say Trey Palmer. Wide receiver 6 would probably be, where is he? He's here somewhere. Tez Johnson. And then I think you have Garrett Green on the practice squad. That's my guess. That's my guess as to what that wide receiver room would look like. So, I don't know. How many defensive backs compared to wide receivers be on the roster? Let's check. I mean, how many cornerbacks do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 corners. If we're just talking about cornerbacks, and then 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 wide receivers. So 10 cornerbacks to 14 wide receivers, but if you include safeties, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 defensive backs to 14 wide receivers. So, yeah. I'm a big Garrett Green guy, dude. I like Garrett Green. I hope he has a future with the Bucs. Love quarterback. Quarterback converts to wide receivers, man. Let's see. Dude, okay, that's another thing. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that we just haven't heard anything about Benjamin Morrison in like a while? I know he's got, what does he have? It's like a hamstring thing. I know he's got a hamstring thing going on. But like, golly, man. Like, can this guy, can we see this guy already? He was crushing it in practice before the hamstring thing happened. Ugh. There's been a couple guys I've been impressed with. I think that Roman Parody did some cool stuff. For me, it's like, I think McCollum makes it, Jamel Dean makes it. I had a list. McCollum, Dean, Morrison, Parrish, Bryce Hall. I think that's like your 5 corners. No. Morrison's not out for the season. Supposedly, according to Bulls, he should be ready for week 1. Dude, I hope so. What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you. We're getting a few more people in here. Thank you guys for that. Got about 20 minutes till the NFC South roundtable, guys. If y'all want to help me out here with the roundtable tonight, go show me some support, because it's always freaking Saints fans in there and whatnot, and I'm disappointed. I want to see more Bucs fans in there. So, yeah, I want to see that. So let's get everybody in there. Hand me on Morrison, it's not major. For sure. I just want to see the guy, though. I want to see him get some preseason reps, you know? I like Bryce Hall over Josh Hayes. I do as well. I feel like Roman Parody might be on the frickin' practice squad at this rate. Does Kino Vador make it? Maybe. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, man. There's going to be some really interesting cuts at the end here. What do you guys think of Shiloh? Huh? Think Shiloh makes it? Yeah? No, probably not. I mean, I don't know. Do they keep Shiloh as the 5th safety, or do they put him on the practice squad and like maybe, or do they just keep 4 safeties? Do they just say like, we're keeping 4 guys? I don't know. Do you put like Rashad Wisdom and Shiloh on the practice squad? I don't know. What about Will Brooks? What's going on with Will Brooks? We don't even have a photo of this guy. Blank. That's how new he is to the team. Dean and White in a trade package? Nah, they're not doing that. Shiloh practice squad and develop. Shiloh's losing ground since we signed that new safety. I would disagree. I think that this guy, Will Brooks, has like a ton to prove. I mean, he's been here for like 5 minutes, you know? Oh, dude, I like Bryce Hall a lot. Bryce Hall, I like Hall. I wish he was healthy last year. I feel like he could have done some interesting things last year. Dude, I will say, like, Shiloh, if Shiloh was in like the early 2000s, he would have been crazy, because he would have been just smacking people and not getting flagged for it. It would have been awesome. But we don't get nice things. Todd did Dion a favor. Maybe. Who knows? I want Shiloh to make it, but us signing someone makes his chances harder. I do agree with that. Kind of. Now, if they would have signed, like, I don't know, like a Marcus May or something, I would have been like, oh, that's concerning. Practices. Actually, you know what? Speaking of practice squad and stuff like that, why don't we take a look and see if there's anybody? Probably not, but I wonder if there's anybody the Bucs maybe like, hey, should we sign this guy on the practice squad? You know, I mean, like, because like a Deion Jones last year or a Troy Hill last year. I wonder if there's anybody like that. So Scherf is retired. I thought Mari Cooper was somewhere. Christian Wilkins, no. What? They're not doing a quarterback. They're not bringing any of these knuckleheads. Shout out Carson Wentz though. What's a position you guys want to look at? You guys want to look at safety? Any safeties they could bring in? Remember Marcus Williams when he was a dog? Justin Simmons. Could they bring back Jordan Whitehead? I don't know. I do not know. Could they bring back Jordan Whitehead? I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it. I mean, if you brought back Jordan Whitehead and put him on the practice squad, I would not be opposed to that. No, I don't think the Bucs will make a move for Trey Hendrickson. Okay, you know what? We are going to talk about this. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Trey Hendrickson, okay? If you're trading for Trey Hendrickson, one, you've got to pay assets, right? You've got to pay a cost to get a guy like Trey Hendrickson, right? What is that going to be? I mean, because we talked about it whenever we brought up the Micah Parsons thing, where it would cost so much to get him. I mean, we're going to look at the production of Trey Hendrickson the past few years. I mean, look at this. 17 and a half sacks in 24. I mean, 17 and a half in 23. I mean, the dude's a maniac. He led the league in sacks last year. The dude's a beast, right? So you got to think, okay, not asking if we would do it, if James would do it, if anybody else would do it who's watching this, like, of course, there's a lot of us who would probably just say, hey, why not? Let's just go ahead and do it. Bring the Florida guy home, right? Why not? Here's the issue, though. Will the Bucs do it? Will Jason Light be willing to give up a high-level impact player, whatever that may be, right? Whatever that means. And would Jason Light be willing to give up a first-rounder, maybe a first-rounder and another pick on top of that? I think that there is no way, shape, or form that would happen. Then you've got to consider the fact that Trey Hendrickson is going to want a shiny new contract. That adds a whole nother level in terms of what the heck could happen in terms of overall pay and along those lines. Let's go to edge contracts right here in terms of active players, right? Because whenever you take a look at that and the value that these guys are getting, like Nick Bosa's on a 5-year, $170 million deal, right? Myles Garrett, 4 years, $160 million. Josh Allen, 5 years, $141 million. TJ Watt is on a 3-year, $123 million deal, average salary of $41 million. Trey Hendrickson is going to be near that number, okay? He just is. That's just the fact of the matter. I mean, even Max Crosby, 3-year, $106 million, $35.5 million average, right? Then let's assume they do that deal, okay? Let's just say they give him like a 3-year, $40 million deal or $35.5 million deal, whatever it may be, right? Let's go and see who the Bucs' future free agents are, okay? So 2026, whose contracts are going to be up? Mike Evans' contract is going to be up. Levante David's contract is going to be up. You have Luke Gedicke's contract, who is going to be up as well. Bringing those guys back is going to be affected in some way, shape, or form. 2027, Mayfield's contract is going to be up. Vita Vea's contract is going to be up. Chase McLaughlin's deal is going to be up. Chris Godwin apparently has a club option that year. And then let's take it to 2028. You have, again, Winfield Jr.'s contract is going to be up. Godwin's contract is going to be up yet again. Bredesen's deal. Graham Barton's deal. Braswell, Tyke Smith. Like, it's a lot of money, right? It is a lot of money. Let's even take 2028 out of that equation. If you bring in a Trey Hendrickson, does that mean, you have enough money to bring back Evans or Levante David or Luke Gedicke, or do you have to say goodbye to one of those guys? Then the next offseason, okay, does that mean like it's tougher to bring back Mayfield? Because Mayfield's going to get paid by the Bucs. There's literally no question about that. Does that mean it's tougher to bring back Vita Vea or bring back maybe a McLaughlin or a Kalijah Cansey for that matter, whose contract would also be up? That's where the situation gets murkier and muddier, because not only do you have to give up assets to get that guy, trade value, you then have to go in there and give money to that player as well. So it can make the situation stickier whenever you consider, like, okay, not only would you have to picture this again, like if not thinking about us doing it, but Jason Light, do you really see Jason Light not only going out there and giving up a first and maybe a third and some other crazy like player type of asset to bring in Trey Hendrickson, but then do you see Jason Light giving Trey Hendrickson $40 million or $35+ million a season? I just don't see that. From what we've seen from Jason Light, I just don't see that. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We can disagree with it. I disagree with it. I would want to bring in Trey Hendrickson because I think that, again, like, it would be such an amazing move. It would. I mean, completely changes the makeup of that pass rush, which I feel like is lacking, by the way. Would change the makeup of that pass rush insanely. But there's just no way, shape, or form I see Jason Light doing it. No way, shape, or form. And it is what it is, man. Oh, man. But we're better off signing a veteran. Yeah, let's take a look at that. We were looking at some veterans, weren't we? Or we were looking at some free agents. I do wonder if, like, dude, that's another thing that kind of makes me upset with, like, the Bucs is we always hear, like, hey, Zadarius Smith, kind of a dog. You know, he's doing some good work. It's a great time. Or we hear, like, oh, you know, whoever is a dog, like Marquise Watts, all doing some good work. And it's like, dude, I'm not really seeing it come game time. So, like, who could they bring in? Like, could you bring in... Honestly, there's not a lot of great options. It's Shaq Barrett, LOL. Zadarius Smith. Is Judon signed somewhere? I don't see Judon anywhere. Or is he listed as a defensive end? He might be listed as a defensive end. There's Carl Lawson. That'd be kind of a fun guy to get on the practice squad, just as a vet option. Clowney? No. Clowney wants to start somewhere. Where the heck is Matt Judon, guys? Judon just signed. He did sign with the Dolphins. Got it. Okay. Thanks, chat. Yeah, well, Judon's obviously not an option. Carl Lawson would be chill. I'd be happy with Carl Lawson. Jahad Ward is somewhere. He is somewhere. Or did he just get cut? Where? Yeah. Crazy work. Sorry, I shouldn't say that because chat gets mad when I say that. Let's see. JTS, jeez. How has JTS been doing, I wonder? Dude, there's not really a ton of options, is there? I just want them to bring in somebody who's been there before. You know what I mean? Like, just get somebody. Preston Smith, I don't know, man. Just give me someone. You know, they can't bring in Clowney. They can't. Maybe a corner? Well, one guy I'd be interested to see if they were to bring him in. I wonder if he's still available. I mean, like, not just Jordan Whitehead. Ryan Neal, LOL. Or did he sign somewhere? I wonder if he signed somewhere. Hold on, let me see if I can find him. Marcus Williams would be interesting. Justin Simmons. I don't think... Bring back Shaq? Dude. Could you imagine? Asante Samuel Jr.? I'd wonder why he's still available. Where is he? Marcus May. I wonder if Marcus May could be a veteran option. Maybe. He has a bit of a history with Todd Bowles. They spent 2 years together on the Jets. What about corners? Are there any corners available? Bradbury? No. Rasul Douglas would be fun. Asante Samuel Jr. Is he still hurt? What's going on with him? We don't know. How many people we got in here, by the way, guys? We still got 55 people in here. Again, we're getting ready for the NFC South roundtable. We've only got I'm gonna post it one more time. I should have pinned the comment. There we go. I'm gonna pin the comment. We've got about 7 minutes till the NFC South roundtable. I want you all in there, guys. I want you all in there. Let me end it with this though before I head out. Todd's, if you want to be 100% honest, Todd's kind of mid. It is what it is. Like, I'm never going to change my option on that. Like, he's okay. I don't think that he's, like, amazing. But I don't think he's the worst head coach in the world. Somebody said, let's take a look at the wide receivers. Who's available in that wide receiver room? Gabe Davis, Nelson Aguilar, Tyler Boyd. Devin Tompkins. Hey, they could bring back Devin Tompkins, guys. Jalen Darden. Remember Jalen Darden? Wow. Could bring back Jalen Darden. Who's another receiver they could bring in? Not a ton of great options, huh? I mean, like, they may just bring in Cody Thompson. Who knows? We'll see. We shall see. All right, guys. Well, hey, listen, I'm going to go... Well, I'll give it a couple more minutes. I'll give it a couple more minutes before we head over. Winning 10 games with all those injuries, great coaching job. You guys are nuts. Nah. Nuts I be then. Jalen the Dart Darden, right? OBJ? He's not even on the list. Where is he? I don't even know where OBJ is. He's not even on here. Is he like... Is he anywhere? I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? All right. We've only got a few minutes here before we get... Did OBJ get released from the Ravens? I know he's not on the Ravens. Yeah, he is a free agent. Yeah, he's a free agent right now. No, I don't think he's in Washington. Apparently, Rodgers talked with him, but that's kind of it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Real quick, guys, I'm going to post it one more time before I go ahead and leave here, because we're going to have 5 minutes before the start of it. One more time, I want you guys to all head over here to the NFC South Roundtable. Give me some support over there. We're going to be going live in about 5 minutes, so I'm going to end off the live stream here, but I will see you guys over there in that live stream. Here, yes, I will be talking on there. I'm one of the people on there. So I'll see you guys over at the NFC South Roundtable here in a few minutes. So just pop in over there. I'll be right over there in just a few minutes, okay? I'll see you guys in a moment. It was good talking with you guys. And yeah, I'll see you then. So goodbye for now, guys, and go